Welcome back. My name is Matt Reiners. I'm co-founder of Eversound, and with me today is Christy Vander Westhuizen. Christy is the VP of Sales and Marketing for MBK Senior Living. Christy started out as an assistant cruise director and has held positions in senior living such as community marketing director, regional director of sales and marketing, to now being the VP at MBK. Christy is honestly one of my favorite people in senior living, and I find my passion is always reignited whenever our paths cross. Her energy is unmatched and is just such an engaging person with such a warm personality. Thanks for joining me today, Christy.
Oh, thanks, Matt. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you.
Of course. So, Christy, starting off here, the $1 million question that I know everybody wants to know, what is in your coffee and how can I get my hands on some of it? Well, kidding aside, I mean, where does the passion and the fun nature that is so evident in all that you do, like, where does that come from?
You know, it's very intrinsic. It's very much how I have always been. I was never really a cheerleader in high school. I always wanted to be, but I was in band. I chose a different life. I was in band and I played trumpet. And
me too.
I know. I think we have that in common. Apparently, trumpet is a very common instrument for senior living executives. I've met a ton of trumpet players, so it must mean that we're loud and we want people to hear us or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I chose band. But I've always had this very optimistic, enthusiastic characteristic. And so I feel like senior living is an amazing industry, and it can be extremely fun if you let it be really fun. And so that's kind of part of my leadership style is I try to emulate other charismatic leaders with doing really fun things, having contests, motivating. Every single tiny itty bitty win is a win in my book. And so we celebrate every single win. And so I wish I could tell you that I read, XYZ book and all of a sudden now I'm this charismatic leader. It's just always been something very intrinsic in me. And I think my parents and I was also in pageants. I know when I was younger, not like toddlers and tiaras, but when I was a teenager, I entered pageants, and that kind of optimism, enthusiasm is usually really appreciated in the pageant realm. So I kind of developed it from yay high.
Love it. So. And with that personality, I mean, I might be a little biased that we're talking here, but from an outside perspective, you seem to me to be one of the best sales and marketing leaders in this space. And, some of it's your personality, your leadership style. I know the people that, that you're leading have awesome things to say about you as well. And, I'm curious, what do you think other teams and providers are missing today?
Well, one thing that is absolutely for sure is that I surround myself with people who are way smarter than me in their areas of expertise. So I work with a corporate director of marketing, Michelle Shin, who is, I call her the marketing guru. I work with really great, talented regional sales folks who are adept at coaching and motivating their teams on the ground. And I work with really great operations people. So I kind of feel like, yes, I get to be a little bit of the conductor of this, but we have amazing musicians. So to continue the music theme, the trumpet player theme, I just get to be the kind of the orchestrator of people making really amazing, beautiful music together. So I think that one thing that providers need to remember is the heartbeat of why we do what we do, and it's the people. And thankfully at MBK Senior Living, we believe in Yoichi Goto, which directly translated from Japanese means the good work. And we believe that every decision that we make, every program that we do, it has to be the right thing always. And then the profits and the benefits will come. But doing the right thing is the most important thing for us at MBK. And so I think that's a really important and crucial part of our industry, is making sure that we're all doing the right thing always.
Yeah.
We're just lucky that that's part of our company philosophy.
Right. And everyone I've experienced at MBK definitely practices that as well. So it's definitely an entire cultural thing. So kudos to you guys for doing that. Cause yeah, you think it's almost like common sense, right? Like everyone should be doing that, but I'm surprised that the majority aren't, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Goto for us, it's not only doing the right thing for our residents, because that is key, but it's also doing the right thing for our team members and growing them and giving them the tools to equip them for not only our job track, but a future job track for them. So that's Goto goes way beyond our residents and families. It goes to our team members and then the community at large as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. And, I think you guys are seeing the success from implementing that. And because I saw you recently celebrating some of your communities, hitting 100% occupancy on LinkedIn, and rightfully so, right? We should obviously be all celebrating that. And do you find like that those teams are doing anything differently that helps them to elevate from the status quo?
So yes, absolutely. So number one, they stayed sales focused throughout the pandemic. And I think it was very easy and very common for communities that were struggling during the pandemic to take their foot off the sales gas pedal. And I don't mean, okay, you got to get the move-ins now today. We kind of had a long game during the pandemic. It was, let's keep doing the sales focused activities, the behaviors that will get us to where we need to be. We may not get there today, we may not get there tomorrow, but when our prospects are ready to make that choice and make that move, we are absolutely the provider of choice. So we really looked at sales behaviors, the activities that we know creates action from a prospect or family member. We really looked at that on a daily basis. But that's not the number one reason, I don't think. I think the number one reason, Matt, is sales leaders as executive directors. These 3 executive directors at the 3 100%ers, they are the biggest sales leaders, cheerleaders, mentors, coaches that I have seen in a very long time. So I think, and they don't just, breathe sales, they breathe customer service and hospitality and resident experience and team member experience. So, for me, that's what makes the difference between 100% community and one that's not, is having a sales focused leader that keeps sales very, very at front of the mind, but keeps resident and team member experience also just as equally as important.
Yeah, and it makes sense because if it's coming from the top person in those communities, I imagine it's ingrained in that culture. It's not just the ED and sales and marketing, but everybody is thinking about that, and it's top of mind for everybody because it's not just one person's goal; it's a common goal for everybody, and it helps everybody when can start to hit those numbers.
Right. And we do talk about occupancy and tours and move-ins every day in our communities. So it's not just, again, this is the salesperson's responsibility. It is everyone's responsibility. And that really is mirrored and shown by our executive directors.
I love it. And, as we're hopefully coming out of this pandemic, have you seen prospects' expectations or family members' expectations shift at all? Or has that looked any different or?
Not necessarily expectations, but I would say that they are more educated about senior living options. What is senior living? What senior living is not. So I'm finding that as a very positive thing. And that means that we are doing good work of distancing ourselves from skilled nursing, hospital. So we are in a league of our own. And so I'm finding prospects be a little bit more educated than they have been in the past, which I think is a giant win for us in our industry.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think education is such a key piece, because I think the
Yes.
people that, when they think of senior living that might not be in it, think more of that clinical old nursing home, which is just, way beyond that. And when you can kind of showcase what you've got going on, it seems to be a win-win for everybody.
Right,
And,
right.
and now,
And it's not easy. It's not easy to educate the public about what senior living is and what it isn't, unless someone is looking for a place for their loved one or for themselves. People don't usually educate themselves unless it's time. And so I think we've started to scratch the surface of educating the general public about what senior living is and what it's not. And I think it'll just continue to improve.
yeah, it makes sense. And it's a perfect segue in our last question here, Christy. And, if you were to leave senior living marketing and sales, corporate and community leaders,
Yeah.
with just 3 key takeaways to help guide them over the next 12 to 18 months, what would you say?
All right. So transparency is key, I think. And I mean transparency in a lot of different ways. I mean, when you're talking with prospects, really explain. I think that we're not a fit. Every single community has their own thumbprint, fingerprint, and we're not the perfect fit for every single person. And rightfully so. I get that. So I think that just being transparent about what we can and can't do at a community, or what our community is known for, or what. So I just think transparency is key. We're not in sales. We don't believe in smoke and mirrors where, okay, oh, there's a tour, paste a smile on your face and everyone's sit a little straighter. It shouldn't be like that. It should be when you walk in and you're on a tour, the community should look like it always looks. And hopefully that's pristine and nice and clean and smells good at all the time. So I think that that's a big transparency. So for the community directors of sales, I will say, don't give up. If a prospect is not ready to move in today, that is okay. We've had prospects that we've had in our database for over 10 years, and they're now just moving. So we've really taken the time to nurture those relationships, and so don't give up. If there's a reason to keep the prospect open and engaged, do it. Do it. Because I guarantee that a competitor across the street might not be doing the same thing. So again, don't give up on the prospects that haven't moved in yet. And then again, I believe that every single community has their own fingerprint. And the last thing that I would just recommend is that really get to know the heartbeat of your community, because that's what sets you apart. It's really great to have a beautiful 4 walls and beautiful landscaping. That's really critical. But what's the most critical is the people that live and work in the community. And that's what you're selling, not the beautiful 4 walls of your community. So don't forget those 3 things.
Oh, I love it, Christy. And it's, talking with you here, it's no wonder why you're one of the best in the space. So, well, we appreciate your attention and your energy and just all of your passion that you bring to the senior living industry, and know it's a better place because of people like you. So thank you for your time today. And I hope to see you next week.
Thanks, Matt. Yes, we will connect at Argentum.